Welcome to the CU Scoop. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka DukesTheScoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at DukesTheScoop. And please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to become a member, all you got to go do is look in the description and the membership link is there. Today, I got a very special treat for you guys. I've got Coach Cliff, the plug, aka is what they call him. One of the most plugged in guys in Florida. Cliff Hill is here. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, man, what's up? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it and look forward to it.
Oh, for sure, man. So before we jump into some of the things that you do in particular, if you were to give a short summary about who you are and what you do, how would you summarize who Coach Cliff Hill is?
So what I do with these guys, I help advise them on their college choice. So we look at everything like roster, coaches, stability, conferences. NIL is a piece. I negotiate their NIL for them. But the main thing I do is just to try to find them the right fit to where they can go and be developed and really maximize all the opportunities that they have. So I guess I would be like an agent, or they call me or an advisor is what I really am. But a lot of them will call me their agent.
So how did you get started and how did you even get into the field?
So I'd done real estate development for about 20 years, and I had a couple injury clinics, and so I had sold off some of that a couple of years ago and retired. And I started. I had a kid that used to play for me, and start going on visits with him. And then I went over to IMG with him and got to know those guys, and started taking some of those kids on visits. And then so this will be total that I've been doing it the fourth year. So I've been in it before NIL really hit, but I started that way. It wasn't my plan, but I had experience in, having multiple employees, multiple clinics, and in multiple fields, and a lot of the negotiation experience too.
When you think about the new NIL era, what's been the most challenging thing as far as when you have young minds who are impressionable? When you think about separating money from football, like, is it hard to do to kind of get some of these guys to focus on the main thing? And if so, how do you get guys to focus?
So I really vet my guys hard initially. There's lots of great players that just we may not be a good fit. So the guys that I get, I'm all word of mouth. I don't go out recruiting people. I don't call people cold call and do that. So the guys that I get kind of know how I look at it. Like if I get a guy, when it comes to the NIL stuff, he's going to be put on a budget. I'm going to make sure his taxes are done correctly. He's going to get actual real financial literacy education with some of the best people in the country to do it that I knew in my previous life that I've kind of brought into this. And then they're going to have the opportunity to make investments and real investments to where they can look at their stuff 24/7 online. And I don't control that, but I am the vehicle to help them select the place to do that. And there's a couple places that I really trust and work with, one in particular. But so they know that's happening. They know there's a code of conduct with how I do things. We are using football. We're not allowing football to use us. Now, by saying that, that doesn't mean they're not going to give full effort. These are the best kids in the country. You're going to get full effort. They're going to come in and draw up on the whiteboard things that will blow your mind that they know about football. They are total packages. But to be the total package and an elite player, it's right there just as much as it is anywhere. So I try to expose them to a lot of information and things that they may not know, because I didn't know. I grew up a coal miner's son. Like, we were scared to death of the stock market. Like, that's where you put your money. That's for rich people, or that's where you put your money if you want to lose it. So I try to teach them everything they need to know so that when they get through college, they have a chunk of money put up and they have a free college degree. And even if they don't get to the pros, and Like I said, a lot of my kids are the best there is, and a lot of them have a great opportunity to get there. They're going to have to work for it, but they can do it. But even if that doesn't come, I don't want the best thing that they can talk about in their college experience was that they won the Gator Bowl. I want them to be able to kind of set their life up for the next 50, 60, 70 years.
Man, that's awesome. So when in Atlanta, we got a school, Langston Hughes, where I'm from, and I do a lot of mentoring over there. And at one point in time, we started to call it kind of like the IMG of Georgia, because that was the standard. A lot of players that were coming out of Langston were going Power 4 schools and the SEC powerhouses and big time top 10 schools. But it was called the IMG of Georgia because IMG was the standard. Talk to me about IMG Academy and what makes them so special, and why the standard for IMG is the standard that most top tier programs want to be like in high school.
So one of the things that makes them special is they have a man there named Don Zalotti that
Don.
runs the program. He's amazing, and the way that he is with these kids and what he makes sure that these kids are able to do and accomplish is unbelievable. He puts in so much energy to it. He may be the best known person in the country in college football because everybody knows him, but he just does a spectacular job. And their development there, the way they practice, the way they train, their nutrition, like it is when I ask the kids, I'm like, well, what's the biggest difference in IMG and the collegiate level? And one of them told me the color of the uniforms. So they're prepared. They've already lived away from home. They've already done it all. So they are like getting a transfer player as a true freshman. And they're going to come in and push that room. Like every kid that I've got that I worked with last year from IMG that's in college now, they're all running with the twos already. Like they're going to come in and they're going to push. And they're going to be the type of kid that they may start at the beginning of the season as a freshman, or they're at least going to be in the mix getting playing time, and they're going to push for that position. And that comes from, I give a lot of credit. I give all the credit to IMG. The job they do is unbelievable. When like Belichick got his head coaching job, one of the first places he called was IMG. I mean, it's like a cheat code.
Man. All right, so one of the kids who I'm familiar with, who's from my area here in College Park, is London Merritt. London made the jump from Woodward Academy, which is a pretty good institution in his own right. But him talking to his pops, they felt like IMG was the right move. Talk to us about London, who's now a freshman, early enrollee at the University of Colorado. Talk to me about London and what he brings to Colorado and what you know about him.
So London was one of the best recruits that Colorado got last year. I've spent a lot of time with him. I've traveled all over the country with him. I came up to Atlanta for his signing day party and was there with him and his family and all of his friends. He's first off, he's a phenomenal football player, but a better kid. Like he's one of those kids that you just like being around. So I just came out to Colorado last weekend, and my favorite part of the trip was seeing him and Alex. Like, that was my favorite part, to see how he's developing. But London is just he's an awesome athlete. He's incredibly strong. He's really fast. He really perfects his technique. He tries to learn as much as he can all the time. I keep up with these kids about once a week. I call them. Every time I call him, he's putting in extra work. Like that is also an IMG difference. It is a business. They know what it takes. They're willing to do it. I'm not saying that they don't go out and have a good time and things like that sometimes, but their main point in going to college is not chasing girls or going to the club or any of that or being seen. Their main point is to use that college experience to get themselves to the next level. And the place that really benefits from that, I'll let this helicopter get over.
Okay.
And who really does well with that is the school, because if your goal is to be a first or second round draft pick, then you really have to produce on the field. And these coaches that I'm working with these kids, when they get there, they're all just loving them. They're doing great. But London is a fantastic kid and a fantastic player, and his first step is awesome. And he's got 3 or 4 technique moves that he uses that, for his age, he's really got down.
Is there anything that when you talked to London after he got to Colorado that he liked, like that he was like gushing about, or is there anything that he thought was hard? What was that first conversation like with London after he got to Colorado?
So he's incredibly happy there. He's really glad that he chose the school that he chose, and he is putting in hard work. He's going above and beyond what they ask him to try to get even better. So yes, it is hard. There's nothing easy about college at all. Because one thing that the kids don't realize, because they get recruited so hard for so many years, and it's like they're so loved on, they don't realize the second you step on campus, they're out there trying to recruit a kid better than you. So what you have to do is you got to put in the work. And so it is hard, and he does say it's hard, but he brings a lot of that on himself by the extra work that he puts in. But he does love it. He loves the area, loves the city. His roommate is Alexander McPherson, another kid from IMG. So, and Alexander's also a great guy. But I just got to be around London a lot this weekend, and he's really doing well. He's really happy. He has a very sincere smile, and his position coach loves him.
Oh, that's awesome. Speaking of Alex, man, when I saw Alex, and at the time I was still working at On3, the first time I saw Alex McPherson, and I was talking to some of the rankings guys, and he was a guy who, when the ranking wasn't as high as it probably should have been, he had the respect of everybody. Like when you talk about being a college-ready body or somebody who had an unstoppable motor, Alex McPherson is how you draw it up when you want somebody to walk off the bus first. He looks the part. Talk to us a little bit about your experience with Alexander McPherson and how he's translated his game from high school to the college level.
So he's a phenomenal kid. His dad is an awesome guy. They're great people. So when they I got a call to know if I would work with him, and I really had as many as I could take, but I put his film on, and I'm not joking. 2 plays into it, I called him back. I was like, yeah, because I could immediately see he had what it took, and I couldn't figure out his ranking. And I told Colorado, I said, he is the gem of your class. Like, this is the guy that you're going to get a lot out of, and you may not even realize it yet. And that's exactly what's happening. He started for, I think, the gold team in the spring game this year. So, you got 2 on each side. Him and London both started. But he's a super hard worker. He's right there with London working out all the time. And Alex is a big outdoorsman, too. So living in Colorado, he's constantly fishing, out bird hunting, doing all this stuff, too, in addition to the extra workouts. But they are absolutely loving it. Everything is going good. I talked to their position coach today again. I stay in pretty constant contact with him just about their progress, and they are going to push. Now, there's some dogs in front of them too, but they're going to push, and they're going to be on the field, and they're going to make an impact.
Your most recent visit, the main manner of business to Colorado, was a recruiting visit for 4-star offensive lineman Brett Colajay and 5-star DN Jake Krell. Talk to me about those 2 guys, what they bring to the table, and how they enjoyed their time in Boulder.
So I think that the trip was surpassed their expectations for sure. Anything that they could have thought it was going to be, it was better. And Breck is from Colorado. He actually has 303 tattooed on his arm. He's a big 6'5", 320-some pound kid. And he is incredibly smart when it comes to the offensive line. I've sat through lots of position meetings with him at all these different schools. They never put anything up there that he doesn't understand. And he holds himself to a really high level. Like if you tell him something that he may not understand, or if you say a player that he doesn't know, he's the type of kid, he's on his phone looking it up, figuring it out. He's very vocal. So if you're not doing, first off, when they break the huddle and go to the line, he's the guy, telling everybody what to do. And he's the type of guy too. He's very vocal. He's like a coach on the field. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, he's going to let you know about it. So when he gets to wherever he's going, he's going to elevate that room with how hard he's going to work. But as soon as he gets a toehold in there, he's going to expect everybody around him to do the same thing. So he's a big guy. He's got the measurables. He's super strong. He's got the strength, and he's smart. So when it comes to interior offensive lineman, he didn't do a lot of camps, or he would be rated even higher than he is, and he's already a high-ranked 4-star. But I think he has the ability to be a top 10 guard in the country really quick, fast when it comes to college football. And I think someday, just because how smart he is and how he calls the defense and all that, I think he could be the best center in the entire country, hands down.
Wow. Nice. All right, what about Jake?
Okay, so Jake is really explosive. He's really explosive. He's constantly learning technique. He goes to camps all the time. He is the best guy I've ever seen at a camp. Like, I haven't been with other guys that I've seen 2 reps in a row to where the offensive linemen didn't even get their hands on him, just like got around him. He's unbelievable. And his technique is crazy. What he also does, he does a very good job about studying his opponent. So, most kids, you'll study what the offense run this play. Well, he studies that, but he also looks to see, okay, on this guy's 3rd step, he opens up. When he wiggles his hands this way, they're going to run the ball. Like, he knows what the guy's going to do. And so that really, when you've got the athletic ability that he has mixed with putting that piece in there, then that's why he's a 5-star. And he's going to, wherever he goes, he will play early. And he has every option in the country.
So, Coach, why Colorado? Why are you so trusting of this program? What is it about Coach Prime and what he's put together that makes Colorado a potential destination and is already a home for 2 of your guys already?
Yeah, so I've gotten to spend a pretty good amount of time with him. He's the type of guy that I see what he's trying to do out there, and I see how he treats his kids. And there was things that he has said to me, and everything he's told me has came true. Like, so I was doing an interview somewhere else, and they asked me, they said, you took 2 kids out there. What makes you think he's going to stay? Because all that Cowboy stuff came up and all that. I said, because he told me he was. And he gave me a 15-minute answer, and I believed him. And 2 days later, he signed his contract extension. So I just see what he's trying to do. I see the love that he has for his kids. I see the expectations that he has for them. Like, I've had the opportunity to sit through his morning meetings in the big team room multiple times. The motivation that he tries to, put into these kids and try to teach them the right way. And I know, it's almost very polar. It seems like people really love him or hate him. But after getting to know him, like, he's a good guy. And I feel like his intentions are good. And he's done the same thing everywhere he's been and has some of the same people. So when a man looks you in the eyes and says the things that he says to you, and then they come out to be true, then that's somebody you want to know and work with.
Man, yeah, it's one thing I have learned about Coach Prime is what he say. One of his favorite sayings is, "I cry to you before I lie to you," right? And yeah, he's a real stand-up guy. Man, Coach, if I were to say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where would you say that you see yourself? You've done something for everybody else. You've always been there, like, for other people. What about you? Where will I see you out in 5 years?
I hope that I'm working with kids and getting them. I had a couple good mentors in life. Like, a lot of people like struggle where I'm from, and it's hard to get out and do things. And hopefully God blesses me to be able to continue to work with kids and teach them the things that I've learned along the way, and whatever that looks like. Like, if you'd have asked me 5 years ago, this is not what I would thought I would have been doing. So who knows? But I love it, and it's very rewarding. And you get to experience things with these guys that are life changing moments with them. I laugh with them, I celebrate with them, and I cry with them. And it's a very sincere thing. And I try to do it as perfect as possible.
Yep. All right, Coach Cliff, where can everybody find you on social media?
So, I have not been a big social media guy. That's new for me, but I do have Twitter, and it is Coach Cliff 904 on Twitter. And I do not have Instagram yet, although the kids are always telling me I need to do that. But
Coach,
we'll
we gotta
get
get you
there.
on the ground, Coach.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, man. Man, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. Thank you, man, and hopefully we'll be talking soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Keep doing great work, man.
All right, man. Thank you, man.
We good?